Hello, hello, hello. Oops. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi, this is Sena Bonbon, your resident DIYer. Your cinnamon bear girl of your dreams. Wow. Hello, crackpot bear. Hello. Just hello. Hi. Hi, welcome. Wow. Hi. Will we be experimented on? Yes. Minna! Hi, Minna! Oh my goodness, it's been a minute. How's Japan? How are the kids? Hi! Oh, it's nice to see you. Hi. How are you and Millie? Millie Vanilli. Howdy. So tonight we are going to be discussing human experimentation. We'll be going over totally not anything involving Dr. Lalame. Oh, hold on. That didn't work. There you go. I'm like, wink, damn it. Hope things are great, Minna, right? I'm pretty sure the Glowies have already experimented on me. Jason? It's funnier that, like, your name has become what it is, right? Because now I'm permanently reminded that your name is in fact Jason. So it's almost like you won. Almost. Hi, Hi, Excel. Hi, Long. Hello, Jello. Hello, Beetle. Hello, Lyra. Sinustag. Hi, Greg. Long time no see, Mr. Caveman. Hello, Moist Rat. Hello, Casey Stoma. Hello, Captain Jaller, Excel, Aaron Kelly, Samuel, Alex, Asun Young, Empty Wallet, Dana War, Mumberthrax, No Fun Zone, Claymore 155, Standardized Watermelon, Deli Dura's Despacito, Pixie Misa, and Timotei. Hello. Hello, Goth King. Good morning. Anaki! Thank you for being a member for 2 months. To build a bears. Hello, Blaz Wong. Get your hellos in now! Hello, Sleezus. Human experiments. Oh boy, what a stream to get a notification for once. You're welcome. You know, it's like, what if that... Sorry, that was actually ugly. It's 4 a.m. for me? My goodness. Are you... EU, bro? Hi, Cliff. I'm terrified already. Good. We're good. Japan is gorgeous. We're working on getting settled and unpacked, which is kind of hard with the kids sometimes, yeah. But we've been doing lots of fun stuff. The shopping here is too good. Is it really? Ooh, how's the food? Must be good. I know you guys were worried about adjusting to a different diet, so I hope that's going well for you guys. And, you know, I hope Miliardo gets his wish of expanding the family. Because I love babies. For other people. Not me. My womb shall remain barren. For a while, anyway. Hope everyone got their hypothermia vaccinations. Yeah. Well, hello there, Sena. Yes, hello. You will become pregante. Hello, LJG. Girl, I've already got a baby. Oh, the little one. Right? Right? Imagine you find out in Sinistry that woman is pregnant. Okay. I don't know how far you're trying to spread them apart. Who knows? Like, every 2 years to get, like, a basketball team. The eggs. The eggs, yeah. Okay. Hypothermia vaccinations. Yeah, sure. Hi, Saisont. Saisont. Is it pronounced like that? That sounds so fun. Saisont. Saisont. Croissant. Saisont. Hey, yo. Okay. Alright. I'm stalling. Stalling? One of these is not like the rest. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, let me get my notes pulled up. I have my glasses on because I am serious. This is serious business. Alright. There we go. Okay. Dr. Lalame's work, Who Slandered the Doctor? He slanders himself. Truly, the man does it himself. Okay, so, you know, quick trigger warning. The content of the stream is going to be a little uncomfy, you know? A little like, what the fuck? What's going on? So, you know, if you're like squeamish, or you don't like hearing about human torture or things of that nature, or you don't like blood and gore and guts, you know, probably stay back from this one. Blood for the blood god. So yeah, alright, Grug, go sleep now. Have a good stream, Orange Woman. Please don't insult Chat Tribe too much. I would never. Have a good night. Have a good night, Grug. It was nice seeing you. Okay. Oh no. Oh no, Toby knows. Toby knows the games. Okay. Who doesn't like some human torture? That's what I'm saying. But you know, for those who don't, get out. This is not your stream anymore. Alright. Pick it up, hold up. Okay, here we go. What the heck is this? Hi, Ed Reed. Tonight we are going over human experimentation as a presentation stream. If you have a weak stomach or a weak mind, get the hints. Okay. Unit 731 stream. Ooh. Ooh, yes. They will be mentioned. We doing some reanimator stuff? Potentially. Alright, we're getting into it. Stop boiling. No can fool Grug woman. Grug seems in our bully with Grug on eyes. You go gone no. Go gone. Okay. So, what makes an unethical experiment? Before we get into it, we have to, you know, acknowledge the elephant in the room. I'm not just talking about like, oh, you know, consensual human experimentation. I'm talking about the bad stuff tonight. Okay? So, lack of informed consent. What is informed consent? That means like you know everything that's about to go down. Not just like, hey, you want to take this drug? And they're like, yeah. And then like, they lose their eyeballs, like they melt inside their skull, and they're like, you didn't tell me that was gonna you know, informed consent. You have to be like, hey, you want to take this drug? It might melt your eyeballs. So, informed consent. No such thing as an unethical experiment. Okay, Shacho. Hi, Laura. Also, well, I'm a mod. Yes. How am I doing? I'm doing good. How are you doing? SATs. Purposeful harm or torture, okay? If this is causing purposeful harm, you know, without consent, you know, number one is key. Because, like, what if you're like, oh, yeah, like, you could hurt me, you know? Like, there's weirdos like that. There's weirdos who are like, yeah, hurt me, you know what I mean? And then there's privacy rights violations. Those are your 3 ones, okay? Okay. Hi, Aki. Hi. Doing it for the lulz. Working on a little something. Also, yeah, human experiments. Oh, gosh. Ethics in science is a huge field and is why you can't clone yourself legally yet or gene engineer a baby. That's what you think, okay? They already have. Technically, I think there's like, what, 3 known children, I think, in East Asia, like China, I want to say. I could be wrong. Where they have been genetically modified or, you know, selectively engineered, which is eugenics, which is bad. We're going to be discussing the Tuskegee. Okay. Genetically engineered cat girls, yeah. I make myself laugh. It's okay, I do all the laughing here. You guys are just staring at the screen being like, alright, what the fuck? Okay, Tuskegee syphilis experiment. This was done from 1932 to 1972. Okay. This is long. Now this is probably the most famous case. Human experimentation, like well known. When I say famous, I do mean like well known. People are fairly familiar with even just the name. And then 600 African American enrolled in the test. 399 had late stage syphilis, and 201 were not infected. They were promised health care, but were never informed of their own diagnoses, just treating bad blood. I just imagine eugenics getting us cat girls. Yeah, but like, as are most things, when you see a cute anime girl and then you see the abomination created to try and mimic a cute anime girl, like we've all seen the people who have tried to become Barbie or living dolls, like, yeah. As much as I'm like, yeah, cat ears on a human head would be cute. I also have to imagine like the way that it would morph. Like, what if it was your skin instead of like covered in hair? It was your skin. Like, yikes. So, Fed hate. F the feds. Would cat girls have 4 years or 2 years? Exactly. You saw what happened to Yana. What? What happened to Yana? Isn't that what you wanted? You don't want a cat girl. She'll pee everywhere and probably not love you. True, and you'd have to spare to make... Well, no, those are the guys, right? I don't know. I've never owned a cat. I really want to, though. There are hairless cats. Yep. And some people love them. Moving on. Okay. They were going to last 6 months, ended up 40 years long instead. So this was a 40-year-long experiment done without the knowledge of the people involved. So no informed consent. That is the biggest one as to why it was wrong. And then by 1947, penicillin was commonplace as treatment for syphilis. So they continued to pump syphilis into these people and leave them untreated, vastly untreated. For 40 years, even though, you know, 10 years and some change, you know, 15 years, they had the cure. That's a little messed up. that's a little messed up. Government health care. Yes. The OG. GovCare. You know, insert president name here because every single one of them's like, healthcare is a really important matter to me, even though I've been fed everything on a silver spoon, you know? So, the Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male was the name of it. It was informally referred to as the Tuskegee experiment or the Tuskegee syphilis study, okay? But it was originally called the Tuskegee, that is a hard word, study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male, which, golly, what a name! Was a study conducted from 1932 to 1972 by the United States Public Health Service, the PHS. So this is done by the actual full-on government. And the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, wow! They would never do anything this unethical ever again. On a group of nearly 400 African American men with syphilis, the purpose of the study was to observe the effects of the disease when untreated. Why did they do it for 40 years? Because they felt like it. Because they felt like it. Okay. There were 4 known clinicians. There was Raymond A. Vondeleur, he was a medical doctor, Eugene Dibble, and Oliver Wenger. And then there was Eunice Rivers, who was a nurse. She had trained at Tuskegee Institute and worked at its hospital, was recruited at the start of the study to be the main point of contact with the participants. She played a crucial role in the study because she served as a direct link to the regional African American community because she was a black woman. It really be your own people really came into play here. You know, I'm very, very sure and very, very certain she knew exactly what was going on and was like, hey, you and I look the same, so you're gonna trust me. Yeah. 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 Maybe not. So, the study was terminated in 1972. Several men were employed, namely Austin Diebert and Albert Grant, expressed criticism of the study. Okay, so when new people came in, they were like, why is this still going on? And then they blew the whistle on the whole Shazbot, okay? They were like, I don't think this is cool. I don't think this is very funky fresh. I think that this is wrong. And people were like, wait, what? So, yeah, that was cute. That was really cute. Oh, super, super cute. So the aftermath. In 1974, Congress passed the National Research Act and created a commission to study and write regulations governing studies involving human participants. So they literally had to go, okay, well, we can't trust people to be good people and self-govern because they do this under our own noses that we totally knew nothing about. Until it was brought violently to our attention and we had to address it. So, you know, we're going to make this law so it makes it seem like we care and forces us to acknowledge these things. Laws that don't need to be made because, like, it should just be, you know, basic human rights. Just not, like, experimenting on people as an entire governing body of the entire United States of America. But you know, we have to make the laws that say we can't do it because then who's gonna hold us accountable? Who? If we don't write it in, who? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Well, I feel like this is a topic I'm gonna get squeamish about, but I'm gonna be here anyway. Subsena, hi, 427 Arbok. If this does make you squeamish, it's totally okay to click out, okay? It's totally okay. There's no skin off my back for a minute. I promise. And they would never be corrupt. Right? Yeah. That's why they write all the laws, is to hold themselves accountable, not hold the little guys accountable and then, like, profit off. You know, we're not gonna go there. So, obviously, there's, like, a bunch of aftermath. People are very distrusting of the government after this, especially involving health programs. We can still see that echoing today of just being like, you know, yeah. I mean, another example of the U.S. having human experimentation would be also in Puerto Rico, where they took Puerto Rican women and put them on birth control that rendered a lot of the participants infertile. It didn't just, control births, it also just made it impossible for them to conceive children when they were ready to conceive children. And so, that's also a form of human experimentation without the informed consent. Wanted to see if it worked because they, certainly didn't want to give it to their white women up here in the States before they had tried it on the brown women down below. So, it's very common. We see this a lot. We see it a lot. We see it a lot. I don't know. Very interesting. So, a lot of people don't have any reason to trust the government. Bill Gates, chama. So, this put a bad light on the PHS and the U.S. government as a whole. But somehow, the CDC escaped by the chin, the hairs on their chinny chin chin. And, by and large, we still trust the CDC. Very weird. It's just a little weird. I don't know how else to put it. It's just a little weird. So, anyways, lots of reasons and arguments were given as to why they continued the studies. None of them good, and none of them even worth mentioning. They purposely made these people suffer, just for shits and gigs at that point, after penicillin had been developed. So, most terrifying words, I'm for the government, I'm here to help. Yup. What's weird is looking at the backgrounds of the people who run the CDC now. Yeah. Yep. It's very, very weird. It's all very weird. It's like, how did you get here? How does that make sense? But, you gotta... I mean, when you're a little guy, right, and you have no say in the end, you just have to kind of go, it is what it is, and keep, chugging and jiving along, because there's not much else you can do, right? Pray about it. That's about it. So, China? Yeah, I don't know. China's the least of our problems. Tinfoil hat, there's definitely an upper echelon that we know nothing about that is the real problem that we will never know about and we will never be able to solve. So, welcome to hell! Holmesburg Prison. Another long one, 1951 to 1974. All I saw before me were acres of skin. It was like a farmer seeing a fertile field of the first time. Dr. Albert Kligman, recounting entering the Holmesburg prison for the first time. This'll be fun! He was a dermatological, pharmaceutical bioweapon testing on inmates. Okay, this guy used to make acne medicine. Yeah. Yay! I want to make everyone beautiful. This isn't gonna go terribly wrong. German. Okay. Oh, Kligman. Yeah, sorry. I said Kilgram. I'm going blind. What a swell guy. So, he exposed inmates to herpes. Staphylococcus. There we go. Radiation, acids, literally would pour acid on inmates' faces, drugs, and carcinogens. This man was like a serial torturer, in all honesty. Sure, he developed a couple of things that were helpful for topical use, but, you didn't need to go to these vast lengths to figure it out. You could probably... And it's kind of sad just to think about because they definitely had the equipment. You could have probably taken skin grafts and tested it through that instead of trying to test it on live, unwilling participants. But, c'est la vie. Hi, Georgie. Thank you for the dono. If you want to go down a rabbit hole relating to human experimentation, I suggest reading... Yes, Unit 731 is going to be in this. Yes, sir. Where's the fun in that? Yeah, I guess. Avoid acid on the face. Note taken. But that's not entirely true. Hyaluronic acid is good. It just kind of depends on the acid. Acids, aminos, all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? Anyway. Inmates tested on consented to experiments, but called them perfume experiments. So no informed consent. They were like, hey, we're gonna have you test this perfume. Just spritz it on yourself. Yep. Oh, it burns. It burns. Oh, your face is melting. Interesting. Very interesting. We're gonna get you to a doctor and get you some care, and you're gonna keep your damn mouth shut. You hear me? Yeah, that. Influenced by the Nuremberg Code. Financially backed by Johnson & Johnson, Dow Chemical, so you know, two of the huge companies in the US, and the US Army. Yes, the US Army. Gotta love it. A family company, Johnson & Johnson. Burn your face off. A family company. Puts the lotion on. It puts the lotion on his skin, or it gets the perfume again. And then put it in a basket. Yeah. Oh, hey, I violated that. Yeah. Okay, so Holmesburg Prison, given the nickname the Terror Dome. The Terror Dome. Wow, verbal vomit tonight. Pace yourself, woman. Terror Dome. There we go. You made the basket joke before I could type it. Surely Johnson & Johnson would never do something like that again. And, you know, would never continue up with any kind of... Yeah, of course not. Okay, they're a decent family brand. Okay, they're not backed by anything like BlackRock. So, you know. Yeah, the Thunderdome. The Thunderdome. Wait, acres of skin? The dude is talking about other fellow humans as acres of skin? Jesus Christ, talk about evil. This will make Satan blush. Yeah, Tweedo. Yeah. Also, thank you for 3 membership months. 3 months of membership? Wow. I'd say well within Satan's playbook. Yeah. My goodness, that was a bad hiccup. Some dudes, mostly German. Me too, you watched. BlackRock, hey, yeah. Hey, want to talk about... I'm advised by my lawyer to not continue with this joke. I'm mildly pissed that's Dow and not BASF. Not because I like Dow, I just want another reason to hate BASF. Then shitty rail cars they sent us. Chemical plant worker. No! Humans are the scariest thing out there. Honestly, I would say that and, like, diseases. But a lot of diseases are lab-made. As we have learned. That's cute. Hiya. It was a prison operated by the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Man, everything bad happens in Pennsylvania. Why is that? Pennsylvania Department of Prisons, PDP. From 1896 to 1995, the facility is located at 8215 Torresdale Avenue in the Holmesburg section of Philadelphia. It was decommissioned in 1995 when it closed. As of today, the structure still stands and is occasionally used for prisoner overflow and work programs. I'm sure that's haunted as all hell. Ha. PA has some pretty sights though. Oh yeah, it does. It does. PA is the Brazil of the USA. Kinda. I mean, you know, it's the one place where people get away with bombing an entire city. Firebombing an entire city. Cute. Albert Kligman. Sorry, wow. I just want his name to be Kilgrim so bad. Kligman was in charge of experimental research conducted on inmates. Okay? Kligman was born in Philadelphia. Okay. To Jewish immigrant parents. Kligman attended the University of Pennsylvania, where he received his bachelor's degree in 1939. I don't know why in God's green earth he lived through World War II, saw what happened, heard what happened, and then went on to do what he did. But, here we are. He was best known for his involvement in the medical experiments on Holmesburg inmates, as well as co-inventing the acne medication Retin A. Which, you know, if you're any familiar with skincare at all, which, you know, I just kind of assume most of you aren't. Most of you aren't because you are men, and men usually do not care. But Retin A, I believe, does, like, involve retinol creams and things of that nature. So, yeah. Cute. Very cute. A real mystery indeed. Yeah, wow, thanks, Sena. Sorry. No, they use babies, right? He saw Mengele as a benchmark to surpass. I guess he was a psychopath. He was a sociopath. Psychopaths have, like, no rhyme or reason. Sociopaths just don't care. They don't feel anything. And how could he feel anything? All he could feel was the glee of going, I'm going to expand my knowledge. You know, he had a thirst for knowledge that only human flesh could quench. So, the experiments on the inmates. All I saw before me were the acres of skin. Kligman's experimentation was extensive, exposing inmates to all those things. 33 different sponsors, including Johnson & Johnson, Dow Chemicals, and the U.S. Army. So that's just 3. There's 30 more. One inmate described experiments involving exposure to microwave radiation, sulfuric acid, and carbonic acid. Ow! Solutions which corroded and reduced forearm epidermis to a leather-like substance, and acids which blistered skin in the testicular areas. I don't know why they had to test the stuff on the testes when it was meant to be for faces, but they did. So, you know, you commit a crime. CBT, yeah, pretty much. So you commit a crime. Like, let's say you, like, do some petty theft. You know, you steal grandma's purse and you get, like, 2 years in the slammer and you go to this prison. And they're like, for a reduced sentence, I don't know if they offered reduced sentences. I kind of hope they did. They go, you could participate in this study. And it's, for perfume experiments. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay. And he's like, drop your drawers. And they're like, perfume on my nuts? I mean, if the ladies like it, I guess. Spritz, spritz. Now my balls are blistered. I feel like sex crimes were pretty low in this prison, though. You know, if everything's hurting. You know, that curbs your enthusiasm. Hi, perfume teas. Yes, quite literally. Ball perfume, sure, I guess. Would you like your nuts to smell like bananas? Yeah, no. The prison was viewed as a human laboratory with an inmate population as the subjects. It was an idle collection of humanity that seemed ideal for dermatologic study. Just torture. Even now, I'm just like, I don't understand how it was backed. And then I look at the U.S. Army and I go, oh. Okay. And I have to hope somewhere in, like, my reasoning side of my heart where I'm just like, please let the prisoners who were involved in this, like, have done heinous crimes to kind of, like, justify it, right? But I'm doubtful, because I feel like, you know, that would have been included somewhere. You know, like, well, these guys were all chomos and rapists. And then you're like, yeah, burn his balls! You know what I mean? Like, but that's not being told. So I'm like, no jaywalking. Yeah, like, you know, you got, like, too many traffic tickets and never paid it on time, so now you're being jailed because you were poor. So it's like, you could be curing cancer, but I don't want to cure cancer, I want to burn balls, literally. So, yeah. Dang, I'm late. Turned into banana nuts or something, what I'd miss. We're doing human experimentation, Holmesburg Prison. He was testing, essentially, like, bioweapons. Honestly, a form of bioweaponry on testes. You know, testicles. Testes. Not my testes, no. Ha ha ha, you're poor. Burn your testicle. Yeah, I feel like the U.S. Army is just mad because they stopped letting them use cows for weapons testing, so they're just taking it out on humans instead. Oh, God. The U.S. Army being mad. That sounds a little ludicrous to me. Anyways. Such experiments did not simply affect the well-being of the individual inmates, but also affected the health of the entire cell blocks due to experimentation with biological agents including Hong Kong flu, poison ivy, and poison oak. I have no idea what this has to do with skincare. I have no idea what it has to do with, you know, the dermatological study for pharmaceutical and bioweaponry. But, you know, maybe the bioweaponry, you know, makes sense. But, you know, I don't know what poison oak has to do with perfume experiments. What Hong Kong flu has to do with, you know, with perfume experiments. And if you're questioning what the Hong Kong flu is, it's literally what it's called. But it is influenza. It's a strain of influenza. The origin broke out in Hong Kong and China, which is why it's called that. So, to play as devil's advocate, botulism is the origin of Botox. Do we need Botox? Do we really? Oh no, this is sagging. Embrace the hag, you fool! You earned it! Anyway. Hong Kong flu was a pandemic. Yeah, lots of things are pandemics. Except the one they shut the country down for. Anyway. Am I wrong? The rise of testing harmful substances on human subjects first became popularized in the US when during World War I, President Woodrow Wilson founded the Chemical Warfare Service. CAWS! The Armed Forces Medical Policy, the AFMPC, for moral and ethical reasons disagreed with the use of testing human patients, arguing that all testing must be done on volunteers who consented to the experiments. So they got their consent, without really telling them. It's always witty. Hot take, but girls come from the left nut, cause they ain't right. Oh my god. Oh my god. Who told you? Who told you? I was in prison with a low bail. I couldn't afford the monies to pay for the bail. I knew that I wasn't guilty of what I was being held for. I was being coerced to plea bargain. So I thought, if I can get out of this, give me my money, enough money to get a lawyer, I can beat this. That was my first thought. This is Leodis Jones, a former inmate and one of the principals in the planned lawsuits against the Holmesburg prison. See? He was in prison for something, like, really low. He just couldn't make bail. And they were like, burn his nuts. Aye. So, a study examining the ways a person's feet can be infected with ringworm was one of the huge studies done in 1957, where they infected a bunch of people with ringworm through their feet. What's ringworm? It's not actually, like, full-on worms. It is quite literally, like, ringworm, excuse me, to my understanding, quite literally was just being dirty, essentially. Like a rash from being excessively dirty. It's a fungal infection. A lot of it is just from buildup of bacteria. It's a parasite. Yeah. It looks like a bite marks, but it's a fungi. Yeah. So, like, my little kid brother had ringworm. And he had it on his, like, hands because he kept refusing to wash his hands. And that's why he had it. And nobody in the house would go near him with a 10-inch pole. And we were like, please just wash your fucking hands, you dope. So, yeah. It's a parasitic infection that looks like little rings. Don't remember much else. Yeah. So, you know, I have seen it. My youngest brother is a clean and neat freak. So, you know, total polar opposites because, you know, they have to be difficult. And, you know, when he saw the ringworm, he was like, I'd rather you kill yourself than come near me. And I was like, fair. You know, of course, you look at your parents and you're like, why are you not making this child wash his hands if he has fucking ringworm? And they're like, we're putting a topical ointment on it now. Don't worry about it. You're being so pushy. So, yeah. So ringworm is essentially from buildup of bacteria creating a fungal infection. A lot of times it's caught from somebody else, from spread. It is highly contagious. Especially with points of contact directly near the surface area of the infection. It's very gross. It's itchy, sometimes a little painful, or sometimes it's, like, literally unnoticeable. It's just an ugly red ring. It just kind of depends on the person, you know, and your skin condition. He didn't even feel it, but he also has severe eczema, so... And I think, you know, originally my parents probably thought it was eczema, or some sort of, flare-up. but I knew it for what it was. I was like, that's ringworm. That's gross. That's really gross. So, I think Ami said she had it once. Sat around for too long. Yeah, you can get it for that too. But yeah, from what I understand, it's just parasitic yuck buildup. Wash your hands. That solves so many things. Holy shit. Wash your hands. And not like, just like, you know, okay, they're washed. No. Soap, lather, in between, scrub your nails onto your palms, get under the nails. Oh, I can't even begin to tell you the amount of people who, if I shake their hand and I see dirt under their nails, I feel the ick. I'm like, I need to take a shower. Soap, good. Yes. Yes. I wash my hands more than a raccoon. Literally. I wash my hands so much that I have to use lotion because they're dried out. So, yeah. Dana Ward, didn't expect to see you here. Yeah, Dana Ward. If I remember correctly, you've drawn art for me, correct? Or no, not art. You did the coding for the game and put me in the game. Yes. Right? I'm remembering that, right? Do I need to check the sheet? But yeah. I'll shake Sena's hand. Yes, and then I will wash afterwards. I wash my hands. Yeah, I did the Death Road mod. Yes. I literally can't. I was like, the road to Canada in the back of my head. And I'm like, that's not right. That's not right. I mean, it is right. That's the purpose of the game. But the hand washing sheet emerges. Yes. I know them from another stream. That's great. Ah, it's cool seeing you guys make friends. Make friends! Anyways, so there was that experiment, and then there was a study where prisoners were infected with skin viruses such as herpes simplex and wart viruses. So, you know, they were like, let's just put warts on them. See what happens. Let's just turn them into toads. Road to Canada. I remember it with the purpose of the game, you know what I mean? It's just that word association. Studies exposing... I'm not a gamer. What do you want? Studies exposing prisoners to long ultraviolet rays and different versions of yeast, such as Candida albicans. Which, by the way, Candida is a type of sugary yeast. Like, it just, like, feasts and feasts. Candidas are, like, they're hungry hippos. They feast on whatever. So, you know, if this is being applied directly to the skin, I'm sure it's just going... That's cute. And then creating big, like, white yucks. And like, imagine the smell. Sheesh. When I was in cheerleading, I knew a girl who got, like, chronic yeast infections on her armpits because she used, baby powder on her armpits to soak up sweat. And I told her, I was like, that's why you're getting yeast infections. Because you're, like, giving your bacteria something to feast on. And she's like, I don't have bacteria. And I'm like, that's why you sweat. That's why your sweat smells. Because there's bacteria. Yeah. I need to go meal plan and do chores. And give me a meal I should cook this week. Oh, there was one I wanted to meal prep this week. I wanted to do, like, a Greek orzo with feta and kale and sun-dried tomatoes and grilled chicken. Or, marry me chicken. Which is also, like, it's a creamy smothered chicken dish. And you can serve it with whatever starch you like. But it's usually served with a starch. But yeah. Yeah. Hopefully those are good as suggestions. Otherwise, stuffed peppers. I've been craving stuffed peppers. Love yeast. I got some in my sour cream. The best stream for food tips, clearly. Yes. Yeast make bread. What salon story? But yeah, so she would just get chronic yeast infections from it. And so I can just imagine that feeding yeast onto people meant that they had yeast infections in places that you wouldn't even normally get yeast infections, like the creases of your arms. Peppers are so good, right? And then one of the other big ones was studies exposing prisoners to... Oh, shit. I already read that. The long ultraviolet rays. Yes. So, like, purposely sunburning people, which would be horrific for me. For those of you who know, Sena's roommate is pasty ginger. I literally cannot tan. I can only freckle. And I do not leave the house, whether it be winter, fall, spring, or summer, rainy or cloudy, does not matter. I wear sunscreen every single day. Every single day. If I'm leaving the house, I'm putting on sunscreen. If I know I'm going to sit near a window, I'm putting on sunscreen. Sena, you're only driving to and from work. I've gotten sunburnt through my own car window. I put sunscreen on. Do you even get ruddy? I do get ruddy. I have that like natural rosy glow to my face because pale. So like, I just cannot imagine being purposely sunburned. How much surface area is being burnt? Is it just small like grafts, or is like your entire body being exposed? Because now you are putting melanoma on my lifespan and I'm going to die. Thank you. All because I didn't pay a traffic ticket and you jailed me. I couldn't make bail and you jailed me. Of course the US Army's behind it. They're like, what can we do to these evil bastards in Guantanamo? You know what I mean? You're like, what dastardly deeds could we be getting up to? And this stupid Albert guy was like, let me show you. I will show you. Oh, also, hold on, before I move on. Albert Kligel never got charged. Never served prison time. By the time things were found out and he was going to be brought to trial, it had passed the statute of limitations and he got off scot-free. Scot-free. Yeah. Yeah. Walks free. Yup. I mean, he died now. He died in 2010. So he lived almost 100 years, the evil bastard, and served no time. Yeah. The US government said, we'll pass these these laws that say, we have to protect these people, but we'll give them like 10 years in between before we, catch them, so that way, they can all get off scot-free. Tee-hee. We're the US government and we love you. Okay, now the next one. Chimera, the cell. This is from the 1920s to the 1990s. Wow, the time spans on these is just quite lovely. Just quite lovely. Soviet Union's program to create poisons. Oh boy, what are these brewskis up to? Hope he gets what he deserves in the next life. He's probably already getting what he deserves. In hell. Tee? Ah, the Russians. Yes, yes. What does being poor and a very, very big amount of ingenuity and lack of resources push you to do? What does it push you to do? Let's find out! Haha! Their first poison lab was established in 1921, tested numerous poisons on prisoners from gulags. Gotta love a gulag. Goal was to find a tasteless, odorless poison that couldn't be detected after death. It took them 70 years to try and figure this out. I feel like that was probably the original goal. Of course, the gulags. Oh, hell yeah, that's my shithole. I love the patriotism there. Yeah, that's my shithole. Do svidanya. Alright. Carbalamine, choline chloride, would weaken and silently kill within 15 minutes. Gotta get my hand on the stuff. After Stalin's death, former heads were executed and jailed. Well, this was happening during Stalin. So, cute. Now, of course, unlike America, most of the Slavic countries and other, based countries when handling crime, at least, looked at this situation and were like, you evil rat bastards, and killed them. So, that's cool. The silly places, yeah. Stalin was a complete sane and lovable individual. Totally! What took them so long? Oh, they were stolen! Okay. Several prominent victims to poisons that were traced back to this lab, okay? A lot of poisons were made here, and a lot of them were also tracked back here. So, you know, they weren't very successful. Like I said, lack of resources. You know? Lack of resources. Stalin was a saint, honestly. It wouldn't hurt a fly. Didn't know the guy. He's dead. The poison laboratory of the Soviet Secret Services, alternatively known as Laboratory 1, Laboratory 12, and Chimera, which means the cell in Russian. Chimera? Chimera? I don't know, Daz, am I pronouncing it right? Was a it's Chimera. You know? Was a covert research and development, not so covert now, facility of the Soviet secret police agencies. The laboratory manufactured and tested poisons and was reportedly reactivated in the late 1990s. Reactivated. Right. Chimera. Is that what you're saying? Or Chimera? I don't know which part I'm supposed to be in. You know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The laboratory activities were mentioned in the Mitrokin Archive, which is a collection of handwritten notes, primary sources, and official documents which were secretly made, smuggled, and hidden by the KGB archivist Vasily Mitrokin during the 30 years in which he served as a KGB archivist in the Foreign Intelligence Services. We love espionage! Kamera. Kamera. Russians do love their poison. I guess I'm Russian. I'm Russian now. That's not. Is that? That is Russian, right? Or is it Turkey? Is it Turkey? Careful. Moscow. Kamera. Oh, okay. 1921, first poison laboratory with the Soviet Secret Services was established. 1926, the laboratory was under the supervision of Genrik Yagoda, deputy of the OGPU, chairman Vyacheslav Minjinsky? Wow. Who came NKVD chief in 1934 after Minjinsky's death. The OGPU is a joint state political dictatorate, and the NKVD is the People's Commissariat, wow, for Internal Affairs. Have you seen Paw Patrol? I have. Yep. I have little brothers, yes. Paw Patrol. Yeah. So, it becomes a laboratory in 1931 and 39, where Grigory Maranyavsky, wow, the laboratory was under the direct supervision of NKVD director Lavrenti Beria and his deputy Vyacheslav Merkulov from 1939 to March 1953. Victims included the American Isaiah Oggins. Who is Isaiah Oggins? He was an American-born communist and spy for the Soviet secret police. So, yeah, after working in Europe and the Far East, Oggins was arrested, served 8 years in the Gulag detention system. That's what you get for spying! That's what you get for telling on us, you tattletale! Now your ass is grass! A communist spy? Not possible. Not possible! March 14th, 1953, it was renamed to Laboratory 12. In 1978, it was expanded into Central Investigation Institute for Special Technology within the first chief directorate. And then, in 1991, several laboratories of the SVR were responsible for the creation of biological and toxin weapons for clandestine operations in the West. prominent victims include the leader of the Russian All-Military Union, General Alexander Kutepov, was drugged and kidnapped in Paris and died from a heart attack due to an overdose of the administered drug. Barry has a deep dive on himself. 1936, Nestor Lukoba, Abkhaz communist leader. 1937, one of the leaders with the White Movement and head of the Russian All-Military Union, Russian General Evgeny Miller, was drugged and kidnapped in Paris and later executed in Russia. 1938, Abram Slitsky. He was a Soviet intelligence officer who headed the Soviet Foreign Intelligence Service. Be your own people. Nikolai Koltsov, famous Russian biologist. It be your own people. Cy Oggins was taken to the laboratory number 1, the Chimera. Yes, there we go. Where Grigory Maramyavsky injected him with Carrere, which takes 10 to 15 minutes to kill. Carrere is a common name for various alkaloid arrow poisons, originating from plant extracts. Used as a paralyzing agent by indigenous peoples in Central and South America for hunting and therapeutic purposes. But an overdose of it will kill you. How does it kill you? Oh, well, if it paralyzes you, what does it also paralyze? Your heart. You die. Tee-hee. T to the he to the he to the T. 1947, Archbishop. There we go. Theodore Ramza of the Ukrainian Catholic Church. Wow. Ukraine was killed by injection of Carrere, again, provided by Marynovsky. 1971, a Nobel Prize laureate and dissident Alexander Solzhenitsyn was poisoned with what was later determined to be ricin. What is ricin? It's a lectin and a highly potent toxin produced in the seeds of castor oil. Yes, castor oil can be poisonous. Yeah, tale as old as time. Oh boy, poisoned dart frogs. Yup. Except it was from plants. But yeah. Yeah. Dissident Bulgarian writer Georgy Markov was assassinated in London using a tiny pellet from an umbrella gun. Now that's some Bond level shit. With ricin. Yeah. Yeah. He was known as the ultimate spy. Guess not, he died. 1979, attempted poisoning of the second president of Afghanistan, Hafizullah Amin. On December 13, 1979, Department 8 at KGB succeeded in infiltrating the illegal agent Mitalin Talibov, codenamed Sabir, as a chef of Amin's presidential palace. However, Amin switched his food and drink as if he expected to be poisoned, so his son-in-law became seriously ill and ironically was flown to a hospital in Moscow. Yeah. You know, all the goofy spy movies, definitely almost all based off of Russian actual happenings, where it's just like, this is some Pink Panther levels of what the fuck? Like, what? Some actual hijinks going on. There's also some alleged victims, and because they're alleged, the list is quite long. But yeah. But yeah, they were known to, you know, even poison their own, which, you know, not a huge surprise, but also still unethical. I don't know how, like, if I was to rank them, I wouldn't put them too high on the list of, like, unethical, as much as they are just part of an organization looking to kill what they view as their enemies, rather than just, like, taking what they view as innocence. So I don't know. You know, the scales are tipping in many different ways. But I feel like, you know, I also don't know how much of an experimentation it is. It wasn't like they were kept in holding cells. They just, like, kind of made it, and they were like, all right, let's go test it. And then, like, would shoot somebody. So I'm not entirely sure. I mean, people would be brought to the lab, the guy would jab them with a needle and, you know, see what the fuck happened. And very often they would die. But for those who didn't die, or for those who weren't found out, you know, I guess they succeeded in their main goal? Potentially? I don't know. It's not giving people for 40 years. Yeah, it's not giving people syphilis for 40 years. Yeah. 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 It's not, you know, purposely holding people who are there and can't leave anyways and burning their testes. It's just killing them. Which is not, like, better, but it's also not worse. Oh boy, here I go testing again. So, like, I also just feel like, you know, a lot of these poisons are instant deaths or like within 10 to 15 minutes. And I feel like, you know, it's an agonizing 10 to 15 minutes, but it's not 40 years. Like, either way, death is death, pain is pain, right? And I can't really scale it because I can't ask them because they're dead. So, you know, how would you rate this death, sir? 10 out of 10. Would do again. It was honestly super quick and painless. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Thank you, Sena. Thank you so much. Do svidaniya. Okay. Wow. I missed the part about burning testes. That's good. Yes. By the way, kurari. Oh, kurari. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. I know ricin is R-I-C-I-N, ricin. I'm pretty sure it's ricin, not ricin. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. For those not aware of the Bulgarian umbrella, Committee for State Security devised a mechanic within an umbrella to fire a small pellet of ricin via ejection of the needle. It's ricin. Oh boy, this one. Yes. So we've made it. We've made it to the one you wanted to see. Ricin is correct. Thank you. Okay. Unit 731. From 1936 to 1945, this covert bio and chemical warfare research unit of the Imperial Japanese Army. It's happening. Complex was in Japanese-occupied China. Okay, so they kind of buried the complex. They're like, okay, well, if we put it over here, it's vastly forgotten. Tested on POWs, which are prisoners of war, kidnapped civilians, mostly Chinese. The Geneva Convention, 1925, banned bioweapons, but Japan reasoned that the ban verified its effectiveness as a weapon. So they continued. Some experiments even got into peer-reviewed journals saying they tested on primates. And they're still out there. Most experiments were just torture. No, seriously. They killed every prisoner to hide evidence at the end of the war. And physicians of the Unit 731 were granted immunity in exchange for exclusively sharing the research data with America. America said, hey, that's actually useful to us. And because people are more mad at the Germans than you guys, and we're the only ones mad at you because, you know, like, we're the only ones that matter because we're American, we'll grant you amnesty, but, you're gonna have to hand over all the files. And they were like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. In fact, we'll come work for you. And some of the Germans who, like, were less known, they were also like, we'll come work for you. Yeah. America number one. I suppose. Science is science. USA. Yeah, I don't know if it's so much science, but this could be beneficial to our military and us helping, you know, the evil overlords. Yeah. Gotta make Daddy Overlord proud of us, says the US government. But yes. So, this is short for the Manchu Detachment 731, and also known as the Kamo Detachment and the Ishii Unit. It was a covert biological and chemical warfare research unit. So, Zongma Fortress, Unit Togo, was set in motion in Zongma Fortress, a prison and experimentation camp in Bayenhe, a village 100 kilometers or 62 miles south of Harbin of the South Manchuria Railway. The prisoners brought to Zongma included common criminals, captured bandits, anti-Japanese partisans, as well as political prisoners, and people rounded up on the trumped-up charges by the Kempeitai. Prisoners were generally well fed on a diet of rice or wheat, meat, fish, and occasionally even alcohol in order to be in normal health at the beginning of the experiments. So, you know, these prisoners got there and they're like, hey, I'm healthy. They give me foods. They give me sleeps. Not a bad gig. And then it began. Oh boy. Okay, so this is gonna get a little graphic. Then, over several days, after arriving in the prisons, they'd get fed, kept away from different populations that had been experimented on, so they weren't being made privy to the horrors they were about to, face. And prisoners were eventually drained of their blood, deprived of nutrients and water. Their deteriorating health was recorded. Some were also vivisected. What is vivisection? It's a surgery conducting for experimental purposes, to view the living internal structure. So they'd remove you down to your nerves live and look at your nerves. Real cute, sweet, kawaii stuff. Others were deliberately infected with the plague bacteria and other microbes. Yeah. Literally infected them with the plague. Yeah. Taking plague doctors to new heights. Yeah. Autopsy, except you're still alive. Yeah. They'd extract you down to however far they wanted to your bone, to your nervous system, to your muscles, whatever, while you're still alive. I assume you die afterwards. I assume they probably also did it without anesthetic because, that would be a waste. They're gonna die anyway, right? Prison break in the autumn of 1934, which jeopardized the facility's secrecy, and an explosion in 1935 believed to be sabotage, led Ishii to shut down Zongma Fortress. He then received authorization to move to Pingfang, approximately 15 miles south of Harbin, to set up a new, much larger facility. So they made Disneyland, ran out of room, ran out of ideas, ran out of secrecy, and said, let's go make Disney World. Yeah. And so they did. Thus creating Unit 731. Yay! In 1936, Emperor Hirohito issued a decree authorizing the expansion of the unit. So the very Emperor of Japan was like, yeah, duh. And its integration into the Kwantung Army as the Epidemic Prevention Department. They're there to prevent epidemics. They're not doing anything. They're protecting us. It was divided at that time into the Ishii unit and the Wakamatsu unit, with a base in Hissing. Wait. How does HS. Sinking? Probably sinking. From August 1940 on, the units were known collectively as the Epidemic Prevention and Water Purification Department of the Kwantung Army. I'll let you digest that for a second. Oh my god. Oh, wow. Yep. Epidemic Prevention and Water Purification Department. They were purifying their waters, I suppose. His younger brother, Prince Mikasa, toured the unit. Literally went on tour. They're like, hello, Prince, would you like to look at our torture chambers? And he was like, yes, I would, actually, yes. Toured it. The headquarters in China, and wrote in his memoir that he watched films showing how Chinese prisoners were made to march on the plains of Manchuria for poison gas experiments on humans. It was like, the shit was scary, but it was kind of cool. RAR XD, yeah. In addition to the establishment of the Unit 31, the decree also called the creation of an additional biological warfare developmental unit called the Kwantong Army Military Horse Epidemic Prevention Workshop, and a chemical warfare developmental unit called the Kwantong Army Technical Testing Department. Horse epidemic prevention. Yes. Totally legit. It was only used on horses. Duh. 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 We're only harming the Hanses. Come on. Giddy up, partner. Alright, so the experiments. A special project codenamed Murata was used on human beings. Test subjects were gathered from the surrounding population, sometimes euphemistically referred to as logs, or Maruta, used in such context of how many logs fall. This term originated as a joke on the part of the staff, because according to a junior uniformed civilian employee of the Imperial Japanese Army working in Unit 731, the project was internally called Holzlotz, German for log. And a further parallel, the corpses of sacrificed subjects were disposed of by incineration. Yep. That's why they were called logs. They were kindling. Researchers in Unit 731 also published some of their results in peer-reviewed journals. And they were testing it on non-human primates called Manchurian monkeys, or long-tailed monkeys. So, you know, if someone ever approaches you and says, "Would you like to be my Manchurian monkey?" Run! 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 Human sacrifices. Essentially, Mumber. Yeah, kind of. Pretty much. Basically. To what? I don't know. Some demonic entity. The Togo unit employed gruesome tactics to secure specimens of select body organs. If Ishii or one of his co-workers wished to do research on the human brain, then they would order the guards to find them as a useful sample. A prisoner would be taken from his cell, guards would hold him while another guard would smash the victim's head open with an axe. His brain would be extracted off to the pathologist and then to the crematorium for the usual disposal. So Ishii could look at someone and be like, I would like to see a heart. I don't know. I'm just kind of like feeling like holding a still beating, still warm heart in my hand today. And the guards would be like, "Anything for you, Ishii-sama!" And then they'd run at the speed of light and like literally punch a hole in someone's chest while they were alive and rip the heart out and be like, "Here you go! For you, Ishii." And they'd be like, "Alright, what do we do with the body? Burn it." What do you mean? That's not even it's not even a person. He was just holding that heart for us. Duh. So, yeah, that's cute. That's cute. Hi. One of the professors at Osaka University studied at Kyoto University during the war. While he was there, he watched footage of human experiments and executions from Unit 731. He later testified about the playfulness of the experimenters. Some of the experiments had nothing to do with advancing the capability of germ warfare, or of medicine. This is such a thing as professional curiosity. What would happen if we did such and such? What medical purpose was served by performing and studying beheadings? None at all. That was just playing around. Professional people, too, like to play. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Thank you! Thank you, Nakagawa Yonezo. Thank you so much. That's just playing. It was just a prank, bro. I was just playing around. Like, I'm a professional. And I need to be able to release some of the steam sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a professional. It was me playing Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Went super hard. Okay? I was walking down. I saw a cellie. I was like, oh, look at that cellmate. You know what? I bet you he has some nice stomach lining. I think I would just like to, you know, rip it open and see what's going on. Yeah. And if he screams, chop his head off. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm trying to look. Okay, shut up, whore. I'm trying to look. Yeah. I just needed to play. Daddy was tired and he needed to play. Yeah. Yikes. So, vivisection. Thousands of men, women, children, and infants interned at prisoner of war camps were subjected to vivisection. Infants. Got away scot-free for handing it over to the government. Ooh, ooh, ooh. USA. Wow. So proud. Yikes. Vivisections were performed on prisoners after infecting them with various diseases. Researchers performed invasive surgeries on prisoners, removing organs to study the effects of the disease on the human body, mostly live and without anesthetic. Woo! The New York Times interviewed a former member of Unit 731, insisting on anonymity. The former Japanese medical assistant recounted his first experience in dissecting a live human being. Which, by the way, ESL, yeah, definitely. The New York Times, I would have hated to be, the English is hard, speech impediments are harder. The New York Times, I would have hated being the interviewer. I would have hated to be that person having to recount this, talking to some douchebag who's like, please let me be anonymous, please, you don't understand, people might judge me. So, he had been deliberately infected with the plague, the live human being, for the purpose of developing plague bombs for war. Which, I mean, admittedly does sound kind of cool. The fellow knew that it was over for him. And so, this is the quote, by the way. The fellow knew that it was over for him, and so he didn't struggle when they led him into the room and tied him down. But when I picked up the scalpel, that's when he began screaming. I cut him open from the chest to the stomach, and he screamed terribly, and his face was all twisted in agony. How's that surprising? He made this unimaginable sound. He was screaming so horribly. Yeah, that's called a death rattle. But then he finally stopped. Death rattle. This was all in a day's work for the surgeons, but it really left an impression on me because it was my first time. Yeah, I would have hated being interviewed from someone working for the New York Times. Oh my god. Other sources suggest that it was an unusual practice in the unit for surgeons to stuff a rag or medical gauze into the mouth of prisoners before commencing vivisection orders to stifle any screaming. You always remember the first time. Good lord. Yep, I told you. Okay. Unit 731 and its affiliated units were involved in research, deployment of epidemic-creating biowarfare weapons and assaults against the Chinese populace. Plague-infected fleas bred into the laboratories were spread by low-flying airplanes over Chinese cities, including coastal Ningbo and Chuangde, Henan province in 1940 and 1941. These operations killed tens of thousands of people with the bubonic plague epidemics. Yes, Japan spread the bubonic plague. Yeah, through fleas. An expedition to Nanjing involved spreading typhoid and paratyphoid germs into the wells, marshes, and houses of the cities, as well as infusing them into snacks. Snacks distributed to locals. Hey, did you want this cute, fun, and tasty treat? Now you're gonna die. You're welcome. Bada bing, bada boom. Finger guns. Pow, pow, pow. Yeah. Just remember, these are the people that made anime. Checkmate. Literally. Japan said, yeah, we did all that, but like, kawaii na? You're an anime girl now, Sena. Yeah. Big ripperoonie. Big ripperoonie. But are we gonna hold the people who now exist after the fact accountable for the sins of their fathers? I don't know. Probably not. I don't want to be held accountable for, a bunch of shit that happened in America from people who look like me, so no. No. At least 12 large-scale bioweapon fields trails were carried out, and at least 11 Chinese cities attacked with biological agents. An attack on Chengde in 1941 reportedly led to approximately 10,000 biological casualties and 1,700 deaths among ill-prepared Japanese troops. So they'd be killing their own. In most cases due to cholera. Japanese researchers performed tests on prisoners with the bubonic plague, cholera, smallpox, botulism, and other diseases. These bombs enabled Japan to soldiers to launch biological attacks infecting agriculture, reservoir wells, and as well as other areas with anthrax and plague carrier fleas, typhoid, cholera, and other deadly pathogens. Woo, 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 woo! Woo, woo! Due to pressure from numerous accounts of the biowarfare attacks, Chiang Kai-shek sent a delegation of army and foreign medical personnel in 1941 to document evidence and treat the afflicted. A report on the Japanese use of plague-infected fleas on Chengde was made widely available the following year, but was not addressed by the Allied powers until Franklin D. Roosevelt issued a public warning in 1943 condemning the acts. He was like, that was pretty gross of you, you're condemned. But like, you're totally forgiven, because like, we're totally gonna use these ideas. Yeah. So, I mean, you can look it up. There is just a lot. In 2018, Japan disclosed the names of 3,607 members of Unit 731. The information was from the country's national archives. The Japanese government hesitatingly acknowledged the unit's existence in the late 1990s, but has refused to discuss its activities. Kawaii! Yeah. We're like, but like Hello Kitty! Hello Kitty, you guys! Ramen and Hello Kitty! Look at our cultural, pop culture! Don't hold us accountable! Bye! Yeah. Chiang Kai-shek. Is that... I don't know. I wouldn't punish current Japanese for World War II, but I would never let them forget it either. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like, don't forget. But, like, it's not you. But the government, yeah. The government needs to be like, yeah. Oh, so these people have addresses. Well, most of them are probably dead, remember? Let's be honest. And giant robots and Godzilla! Woo! Yeah, we totally did these things. Don't you want to go make a gunpla or something? Chuckles nervously, looks around. Yeah. Alright. And then this is just like kind of the miscellaneous tab. Japan went from literal demon to cackerel after they got a taste of American nuclear knuckles. Yes. Nuclear. Sure. They got a taste of knuckles. But nuclear, maybe that's a different stream. Psychological experiments, truth serum testing, MK Ultra, radiation experience, injected with uranium and plutonium to test tolerances, monitoring but not treating people who are affected by nuclear testing, exposing the body to radiation and microwave radiation. We dropped the sun on them. Yeah. Chemical experiments, testing mustard gas on U.S. military personnel. Wow, it'd be your own people. Operation LAC, spraying chemicals over 6 cities in the U.S. and Canada to test dispersal patterns of chemical weapons, claimed to not be harmful chemicals. Let's talk about Operation LAC. Napalm Knuckles doesn't roll on the tongue as well. Yeah, but it's probably more likely. MK Ultra, the canon event of every domestic terrorist. Nuclear. The frogs, yes. So, Operation LAC was large area coverage, was the United States Army Chemical Corps operation which dispersed microscopic zinc cadmium sulfide. Sure it did. They were little suns, by today's standards, to be fair. Napalm sticks to skin. Particles over much of the United States and Canada, in order to test dispersal patterns. Yes, and the geographic range of chemical or biological weapons. Totally. There were several tests that occurred prior to the first spraying affiliated with Operation LAC that proved the concept of large area coverage. Canadian historical files relating to the participation in the test sites, in particular 3 previous series of tests leading up to those conducted in Operation LAC. September 1950, 6 simulated attacks were conducted upon the San Francisco Bay Area. Gee. Wow, wonder why San Francisco is the way it is now. It was concluded that it was feasible to attack a seaport city with biological aerosol agents from a ship offshore. Wow, so fun. Good night, Sena, crazy strim. Good night, Captain Joller. March to April 1952, 5 trials were conducted off the coast of South Carolina and Georgia. Wow, wonder why those are so crazy. Under Operation Do the Do. It was concluded the long-range aerosol clouds could obtain hundreds of miles of travel and large area coverage when disseminated from ground level under certain meteorological conditions. Wow. I am struggling tonight. 1957, North Sea, east coast of Britain. It was shown that large area coverage with particles was feasible under most meteorological conditions. Wait, that's my state. Yes. In addition, the Army admitted to spraying in Minnesota. Locations from 1953 into the mid-1960s. In St. Louis in the mid-1950s. And again, a decade later, the Army sprayed zinc, cadmium sulfide, via motorized blowers atop Pruitt and Goe, at schools, from the backs of station wagons, and via planes. Wow! Ha ha! Ha ha! Yeah. The December 2nd, 1957 test was incomplete due to a mass of cold air coming from south from Canada. It carried the particles from their drop point and then took a turn northeast, taking most of the particles into Canada with it. So that's why Canada's the way it is. Military operators considered the test a partial success because some of the particles were detected 1,200 miles away at a station in New York State. It's all adding up now. A February 1958 test at Dugway Proving Ground ended similarly. Another Canadian air mass swept through and carried the particles into the Gulf of Mexico. 2 other tests, one long path from Toledo, Ohio to Abilene, Texas, and another from Detroit to Springfield, Illinois to Goodland, Kansas, showed that agents dispersed through this aerial method could achieve widespread coverage when particles were detected on both sides of the flight path. All I can say is thank you, Sena, for your service. Yeah. I just like, that's so crazy to me. And they're like, well, if we release this information to the public and we say that it was this, then they're like, it's okay. And like, it just goes right back into another stream where I'm just like, they desensitize you with these, sensationalized, insane stories, and they tell you little tidbits and little nibbles of the truth, and until when? Until some really crazy fuck shit happens, and then it's like, I feel like it happens in media, it happens everywhere. We're just being constantly desensitized to violence, to gore, to evil, and for what? Yeah, I don't know. I know some of you are like, what does that even mean? If you know, you know. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like there is a very big push to normalize certain things and to get us prepared for other things. And I feel like it's been like this for so long, we wouldn't even know how to break out. And even if you can see the pattern, it doesn't mean that you're not still tricked by it. So, yeah. I will continue to be tricked by it. Don't worry, CIA. You can still trick me. I won't notice it until 20 years later when it doesn't even matter. And we've been desensitized to it. So, you know, you don't gotta kill me. You don't got to. Risks and issues. The Bacillus globigi was used to simulate biological warfare agents such as anthrax because it was then considered a containment with little health consequences to humans. However, BG is now considered a human pathogen. Anecdotal evidence exists of the ZNCDS causing adverse health effects as a result of LAC. However, a U.S. government study done by the U.S. National Research Council stated in part, after an exhausted independent review requested by Congress, we have found no evidence that exposure to zinc cadmium sulfide at these levels could cause people to become sick. So, makes me wonder about my hay fever. Doesn't it? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Makes me wonder why people are, you know, who have lived in these areas for generations now are developing allergies as well, or allergens. It's a little interesting. It's a little interesting. Why am I suddenly allergic to ragweed when it's been around forever and, like, we've all been exposed to it forever? Why would we now... I mean, it's not sudden, but why would we now all be, like, allergic to it? I don't know. It's just a little weird. That's all I'm saying. I mean, am I gonna go as far as to say all of that kind of stuff is orchestrated? No. But some of it has to be. You know? Some of it has to be. Depriving us of things, overexposing us to others. I don't know. There's some plan there. Do I know what the plan is? No. And I don't really care. I'll live, I'll work, and then I'll die. Is what it is. The decline of our gut health probably doesn't help either. Yeah, well, and you know, that goes hand in hand with the FDA, and the CDC and the FDA seem to be real big gal pals, so... Gotta head out now. Take it easy, white girl. Do remind yourself to bring me back my Bulgarian umbrella. I need it for services. I will not share. See ya. Bye, George. Thanks for the dono. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have for you tonight. But, you know, some food for thought, human experimentation, all that, and a bag of chips. And, you know, acres of skin. Teehee? But yeah, 888, very informative. Thanks, thanks, Bonnie. Thank you, Bonnie. Thanks for the quality content. Thank you for coming, say something. Please don't get an excellence in journalism award tonight. I won't. I will never ever want to kill myself, unironically. Ever. And I am a woman, and women don't follow through with suicide, so don't believe it. I mean, like, for the most part, women don't. Let's be honest, the numbers are there. Good stream, I learned some more things about why I hate certain people. Yeah. Could just, like, hate most people or all people in general. You know, like specific, very specific people, and then just hate the rest. Did I cover Tuskegee? Yes, it was the first one I covered, actually. As it is the most, infamous. Big ups to Dr. Kligman for the acne medicine. Hey, now. Thanks for the streams, and we finished washing the dishes. We don't have a dishwasher here. You know, I would feel bad, but I also like to hand wash dishes. Because I feel like my dishwasher never gets it clean enough. And yes, I've cleaned the filter and the pump. I just feel like the machine's older, so the motor just doesn't seem to run as hard. I feel like that's part of it. It's gotta be. This faith is smooth as heck. Yeah. Heck yeah. But your testes are leathery now. You're welcome. Good for nothing hunk of junk. I hate very specific people. I hate entire groups. Get on my level. Bring the hate. No, I don't actually feel like I hate. I just, like, strongly despise the deeds and actions of certain groups. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's fair. That's pretty fair. Like, I despise chomos. For obvious reasons. You know? Like that. We have a dishwasher, but Mom keeps candy in it. She thinks I don't know about it. What? That's different. That is certainly different. My mom hides all the candy in the dishwasher, and she washes her shoes in the bottom rack. I've never used a dishwasher in my life. A lot of people haven't. They're fairly straightforward though. They are fairly straightforward. Understandable. Yeah, don't hate groups for the actions of individuals. Chomos aren't individuals. Chomos child molest. Chomos are child molesters. That's what that is. And I will hate all of that because, duh. You know, that's an obvious one. Other ones, you know, are my business. Oh, brother. Okay. Alright, I got you all set for a raid. Please stick around for the raid. We'll be raiding Sawa-sama. Let's see. Please tell her Sena says you are a very sour grape that needs correction. She'll hate this. Is Sawa-sama based? I don't know. It depends on what you think is based. I feel like based is very dependent on the person. So, she could be for some and she could be for, it could not be for others. Kind of just depends. I would say Sawa is, but yeah. To me she is, but maybe not to you. All this depends. We're all different. Unfortunately, we're all different. Yeah. But thank you for watching, thank you for coming, and I will see you guys, not tomorrow, but Tuesday. Tomorrow I'm going to a water park. And I'm gonna enjoy my vacation off from work. And then, expect some early day streams in this week. I might do like a coffee and chat and open drawing thing maybe. Potentially. I don't know. Alright. Good night. Thank you guys so much for coming. I will see you then. Bye.